For my project, I have analyzed the conservative and liberal interest groups and their position on immigration. An interest group is one of four linkage institutions. These linkage institutions include elections, political parties, interest groups, and the media. The purpose of linkage institutions is to form a structure within society that connects the people to the government. Interest groups are formally organized associations that seek to influence public policy by donating to candidates who share similar ideologies and who push for certain policies. One source that I analyzed was a FAIR video. It was a debate between a liberal and a conservative and their points of views and arguments over immigration. The political ideology of this source is pretty conservative. Some evidence to support why I believe the source is conservative are the viewpoints in the audience. This debate was aired in Fox News, which is historically a conservative news outlet. Fair's point of view on immigration is that the government should spend money improving the border security instead of spending it on the assimilation of immigrants in the school districts. This source is biased because it was hosted by Fox News, which it's it's conservative, which may influence the topics and the points of view that they choose to talk about. The author chooses the following words. Um, chooses to use the following words: liberal elites, to impact the meaning of the message. By using these words, the speaker imposes that the decisions regarding immigrations have been dictated by a small group of rich, powerful liberals. Fair claims that securing the border should be where the U.S. puts the money, instead of using it to educate immigrants. However, they don't show any evidence to back this up or to see why it's a better opinion, which ultimately weakens the argument because there's no evidence to support. Some logical fallacies I found in this argument were force and fear. By stating that the people who would have to pay a lot of taxes to pay for the schooling and needs for the children, the audience might support the deportation of immigrants in order to stop the increase of taxes. I also had the opportunity to analyze the speech from Janet Murguia, who is the CEO of NCLR, and her point of view on immigration. The political ideology of this source is liberal. We can see that it's liberal is a liberal source because the mission of the organization is to improve Latinos' opportunities for success in achieving the American dream, which is consistent with ideologies of liberals. This source is biased because they only focus on creating awareness and improving the health of Latinos. The author chooses to use soldiers with guns to handle these children to impact her tone and meaning of her speech. These words will make the audience feel more sympathetic towards the immigrants, which will ultimately help her gain more support. NCLR suggests that the government should help the children who have immigrated from South America get better education instead of trying to send them back. She gives us various examples of teen immigrants who have been or are enrolled in universities and are reaching higher ed. She also gives us all of the expenses behind the deportation of immigrants. This strengthens her argument because it provides evidence to back up what she is saying, which makes her more reliable. Some logical fallacies that she used was slippery slope, because she said that the border patrol will begin to use big rifles against immigrants. This is a logical fallacy because it is an extreme scenario that is presented. I have also analyzed AFL-CIO and their point of view and arguments over immigration. The political ideology of this source is moderate. Some evidence to support this is that the viewpoints don't necessarily support immigrants coming to the U.S., but at the same time it doesn't criminalize them. All the article is doing is advocating for the immigrants who are being treated unfairly in the workplace and fear backlash from employers when forming unions. Their point of view in immigration is that they should be treated fairly in the workplace and have their standards protected. The, the author uses the following words: disgracefully and finger pointing when talking about the House of Republicans. These words are used to point out who is responsible for immigrants not having their rights protected. They also claim that by giving immigrants these opportunities, it will create a considerable new economic opportunities for working people. They provide us with expert opinion, which makes their argument much more valid since experts in these subjects are expressing their opinion. Some logical fallacies that I found were appealing to emotion. This is a logical fallacy within the article because it is tapping into the emotions and gaining the audience support. I personally agree with NCLR because I think that immigrants should be receiving help since they are risking their lives to get a better life in the U.S. Also, since the U.S. is considered one of the most powerful countries, they should be able to help the immigrants if they put enough resources and energy into it. My values and beliefs best correlate with Bernie Sanders as well as CNN because they are both considered liberal. My point of view is best described as liberal because I believe that the government action should be to achieve equal opportunity and equality for everyone. I can best use the four linkage institutions by taking advantage of all the opportunities they give us to connect to the government. By being part of an interest group or voting for a candidate, I can be connected to the government. I think that the U.S. should help immigrants get better education. The federal government should give more money to the state so that they can give better aid.